I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm up in the studio. It's a overcast, cold day today. Well, it's not super cold. It's in the 40s, but it's windy, so it feels pretty cold to me. So I got thinking I thought I'd make a video this time using a BIOS 5 and give you some insight. For you, those of you who have never used one, give you some insight on what it's like to use BIOS 5. Okay, we'll let that prime. Now this doesn't use a pot stand. You simply put some alcohol on the wick and dump some alcohol in the middle and ka-ching, she blossoms out. And there you have it. Once the primer wick goes out, she'll quit pulsing and settle down here. There we go. Put the windscreen on and the lid. I have 2 cups of water in this, and probably in the next 5 or 6 minutes it'll come to a boil. Yeah, I don't want to put the windscreen in too close, or you create a chimney effect and the flames will start going up between the windscreen and the pot. A lot of people will put a windscreen in tight, and that's the worst thing you can do with an alcohol stove. In fact, some people that have been using the Baco-Matics, I've sold a lot of them, and 3 people overheated them. One real memorable one, the guy put it inside of a Calder comb, and that was a kiss of death. It gets too hot in there and it just ate it alive. One guy put the windscreen around it so tight, put it right in tight that he overheated it, and it started boiling the alcohol. And I think the 3rd person put their windscreen in too tight and overheated it. So you want to keep the windscreen out a couple inches from the edge and keep the front open on the downwind side. That's the best way to do it. Okay, now, so what I did today was I went out and made a batch of 12 mini atomic originals. Wasn't too bad. It's kind of a time-consuming thing, but it's kind of fun at the same time. And they come out real nice, so I'm all caught up on them. And tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to make, whether I'm just going to take the day off or what I'm going to do. I think tomorrow is Easter Sunday, if I remember correctly. Not sure what I'm going to do. I guess I'll just have to wait till tomorrow and figure that out. Now, while this is coming to a boil, I was out looking for chopsticks out in the shipping room in drawers, and I found this in a drawer. This is an old kit, and it has a Heine pot in it, Dutch beer can, with the original Heineken lid. That's the wide lid. It's wrapped. Looks to be nothing wrong with it at all. Got a couple of lip guards inside of it. And inside it, along with that, inside is an old 5x23 pot stand for it. Cool beans. And flip the pot stand over, and it has the carry case also, which actually, if you take this off, turns into 2 16-ounce containers that you can either eat out of or measure stuff into or whatever. And then it's got a double-threaded ring here that's duct taped together. Now, if anybody's interested in this one, and there's just this one, first person that emails me and says they want it, I will sell it to them. Not going to be cheap because there's only just this one, but yeah, if you want that, let me know. Email me at stick40@tdstelme.net. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera back on when this comes to a boil. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, we got a boil going here. Now, unlike the 10-centimeter pot, I think that with this 12-centimeter pot, the ramen noodle brick will go right in without even being broken. Not that that's a big plus or minus, but just for the record book, it will go in without having to be broken. That's cool. Now this would be a nice setup in the evening after you've hiked all day to be able to boil some water and have a good hot meal of your choice, whatever that may be. For me, that would probably be, if I was tired, maybe Mountain House beef stroganoff. Call it beef stroganoff. There's not a lot of beef in it. There's some kind of things that are supposed to be, I guess, you'd have to call them beef pellets. They kind of look like rabbit droppings more than anything else. They really don't even resemble beef, but they have some texture like beef, and they've got beef flavoring, so, you know. But that having been said, it's not a bad meal. It's not something you want to eat every day, but for a one-time thing, the Mountain House beef stroganoff is not too bad. It's pretty good stuff. And it comes in a 2-serving container, which is probably made for 2 people, but if you've been hiking all day, you can eat the whole thing no problem all by yourself if you've got a good strong stomach. Okay, we put the spice packet in here and stir this up. Now, I prefer, some people eat it while it's still all juicy and all kinds of water in it. I've discovered over time that I prefer to just set it off to the side for 15 or 20 minutes until the noodles absorb all of the water and become really light and loosely wound. And I think I prefer it that way. It's easier to eat that way. Usually by then it's cooled off enough so that you're not going to burn yourself. And you haven't got all kinds of sloppy water to deal with. But, you know, that depends on the person. But that's the way I prefer to do it. It takes about, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, maybe less. And I leave the lid off so that when I get ready to eat it, it'll be cooled down enough so I can eat it without burning myself. If you leave the lid on, it takes a really long time for this to cool down enough so you can eat it without burning yourself. I also like to fluff up the noodles and unwind them a little bit because they're wound pretty tight. Kind of helps hydrate them a little bit more and gives you something to do while you're waiting for it to completely rehydrate. Yeah, you can tell I've eaten a few ramen noodles out of an aluminum pot. Okay, now I read somewhere a big selling point of the anodized aluminum pots was that they claimed that just raw aluminum, as they call it, could actually, in the pores of the aluminum, you could trap bacteria and, you know, contaminate your next batch of food. My thought on that is, anything I'm going to eat out of this pot, I'm going to boil water before I rehydrate it. So the boiling water is going to kill any bacteria, hands down. And I think the thing about bacteria being trapped in the aluminum is probably invented by somebody who was selling anodized pots. I don't think it really has anything to do with it. In fact, I'm not even sure that when they're anodized that it actually closes the pores up in them. I think it just colors it actually and makes the surface a little harder and more wear resistant. But it's just one more example of, like the drinking water industries, all of a sudden you're supposed to drink like 8 pints of water a day. And that showed up when the bottled water industry started selling water. You know, that pure spring water that comes right out of the local water supply. It's not actually spring water. It's just right out of the tap water, right from whatever city it's bottled in. That's the water in that city is what they use. Pretty much documented. Creative marketing is what it's called. So, let me see. I'm going to sell this. Got my ramen noodles rehydrating. I built mini atomics today. We went to the transfer station today and picked up an antique bed, probably late 1800s, early 1900s. Really, really old bed that was in surprisingly good shape, and took that to the junk shop, and they snatched that right up. They'll sell that and make some money to take care of little kitty cats that don't have a home and need to be neutered. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Still haven't taken my boat out because it's been so darn windy. I'm waiting for a calm, sunny day so I can actually enjoy myself. So, I think that's probably everything for this video. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors. And more important than anything, try to have some fun today. And try to have a really great day. Maybe take your alcohol stove out on the back deck and cook some ramen noodles in the sunshine. That'd be kind of fun. Bye-bye.